Good morning. Oh, false start. There we go. Let's have a look. Our level. Our level. We're never level, are we? Yes. No. Yes. Oh, it's still in the piss. That is. Ta-da! Good morning. Welcome back to another instalment of Sparta Fishing. I've just seen a seal. Urgh! Overpopulated and overprotected. Anyway. So we're at Cullenose Point in Bonnie, Northumberland. Home turf, if you like, not far from my house. It's half-hour drive or so. I'll stick the what 3 words in this video, sometime during this video, of exactly where I am, because I know a lot of people are starting to travel into Northumberland and do a bit of cod fishing for the winter season. I don't mind telling you about this mark. It's a good mark. Easy parking, short walk, cod. It's been a mark that's produced fish for me over many years. I think my biggest year is about, let us say £7 pound. I lost a monster here last year. It was about the same time of year actually, trying to lift it up. It's one of them places where you need a big strong rod to hoist it up, unless you've got some sort of landing net, but again it's really difficult to get down there. You need a wingman really, will be ideal to get down there and lift it up. It is low water at the moment, so it looks a bit more extreme than usual. It's quite a big tide. It's, you know, it's on about almost a metre on the low, and it's about 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, something like that over high. Not really concerned about the tides. It's not a mark that concerns me. Of when it's fished, it'll fish all the way through. It'll fish calm conditions, it'll fish rough conditions, although you have to be careful. Aye, so I thought, right, I'm going there. Let us get set up and I'll talk you through the equipment I'm using, the bait I'm using, and why I chose this mark today. Thanks for tuning in. I'll speak to you soon. Here we go. So, the trace. I'm using a rotten bottom pulley. Pulleys aren't my favourite rig, but I've got them made up and I thought, well, I'm just going to use them today. You'll notice that I will change my rigs throughout the videos, but they'll do. Right, so the rotten bottom. 6 ounce lead, 25 pound mono, which is the weak link. Up to a little clip there, which I hang me weight on. I give it a twirl like that, and I hook it onto there. So when I cast out, there's plenty of strength there. It's not going to twang off. And when it hits the water, it pops out. If it gets jammed, it snaps out. There's the weight clip at the bottom. So I've got 70 pound mono to a bead, a limitless power swivel, another bead, a limitless power swivel, then on to the hook length, which is a bit extreme because I made these for when I was going fishing for spur dogs, but they'll not do any harm here. It's a 120 pound mono to a Ultra XT limitless J hook onto a 5.0 octopus beak hook with a little bit of magic sort of tubey grip there so I can move it up and down with a bait. I've got a chunk of worm, I've just wrapped some worms up. Nice smelly chunky bait. The worms aren't the best. I've had them for a good few days now. I got them on Monday actually, and I didn't go out. So I just kept them. I haven't changed any water or anything, but they're fine. I knew if I used them today it would be alright. I'll get this chucked out rather than yapping on. I'll not catch any fish talking to you lot, will I? I'm just spinning that lead so the line bunches up, hooking it onto the little hook at the bottom, which will come off when it hits the bottom and create that weak link I was just telling you about. If I can reach this bait and get it clipped up, there we go. Right, because I'm using a really long rod, I don't know if I can get in. There we go, I can. There we go, it's all clipped up, it's ready to go. It looks a good, nice, chunky cod bait. Just got to hope for a few fish. You don't need any sort of power throws or pendulum casts here. You're straight into deep water. It's one of my favourite marks. And it does fish over low as well, fishes over both tides. Up, down, left, right, whatever you want to fish it, this mark will give you a fish if you're here at the right time. Let's get that tightened up. Excellent, we're in the water, we're fishing. It's a lovely day. I am a fair weather fisherman. I take no sort of stick about that. It is what it is. I've done fishing in the rain and the sleet and the snow, the blow and a gale. I wait for better conditions now. It's great when the sea's dropped off like it has. It has been rough this last week or so. It's dropped off, the sun's come out, and I've decided to come and have a chuck. I enjoy it more, you know. I'm not going to do something I don't enjoy doing, and I don't enjoy standing on the rock edges, on slippery rocks, sideways rain, sideways wind. I don't mind the cold. I've got plenty decent clothes, you know, to keep us warm. It's just the conditions, like I don't like standing in them, in the dark especially. So here I am, beautiful, sunny, bonny Northumberland. Enjoy. Anyway, the rod I'm using today, I was sent this by Limitless about a month ago. I have had a session, well, I've had a few sessions with it on and off camera. If you look back through the previous video, you'll see one of the videos I've done telling you about this Limitless AS 4500 XT. They're a brand new rod on the shelf. This is a prototype. I could show you it, but it looks nothing like what the new ones do with all this beautiful decals and stuff like that. So it's a 14'10" rod, which is a bit big for me, and I thought at first, oh, I'm going to struggle with that. But, I did, to be honest. But I practiced with it down my local harbour. I've went fishing with it a few times and I'm starting to love it. Now, I'm not sponsored by Limitless. I've got no connection whatsoever to Limitless brand, company, the people who run it, anything like that, other than making contact with Chris. And Chris very kindly said, do you want to try this rod? See if it helps you with your casting, because he knew I was struggling a bit. Now, I've never been a pendulum caster or somebody who sends it round the moon and back before they chuck it. I'm a simple overarm caster, purely and simply because I've got a very tender, sore back. I get sciatica easy, and I had to stop playing golf because of that. And he said, maybe this rod will help you out, even though it's longer and you might struggle with it at first. See how you get on with it. 14'10", I was like, bloody hell, I'm never going to be able to handle that. But I'm getting used to it, and I'm getting an extra 30 yards just on a normal chuck. Now, when I fish rock marks, generally I stick by the rule of thumb that if I'm having to chuck it a mile, then I'm fishing in the wrong place, because I don't want to be chucking over loads of snags and, you know, stuff like that, and reeling the fish back half a mile. So I try to fish marks where I don't have to chuck as far. But it is nice to have that little bit of artillery to say, right, well, there's a hole over there somebody's told me about, or somebody's catching fish, you know, that bit further than what I'm chucking. I'm able to do that now. Like for like with a bang average caster, of course. So I am really, really enjoying using it. I've been sent rods off other companies before to try and give me opinion on. Some of them have been, well, again, it's opinion, but not fit for me, if you like. It didn't suit me. So I've told them that, and I've just said, look, I can mention you on the video, but it's going to tell my viewers is the truth. Every rod's individual to that person who's using it. I see lots of posts on social media saying, what's the best rod for this? What's the best rod for that? And somebody straight in with an answer, and you think, well, how do you know? Maybe that person needs a bit more sort of winding up on the cast, needs a bit more give in the rod, needs a stronger rod because they can belt it out, and they need a bit more, you know, they want a rod that can compress better. So it's horses for courses. What I can say about this rod is the build quality is absolutely second to none. It's light, it's durable, it lifts fish out of heavy ground. I can chuck it a bit further, I can compress it a bit more than your average sort of solid stick, if you like. It is a heavy ground fishing rod, without a doubt, but I have used it on the beach because it's so tall. It sort of swan necks over the top of the breakers, which is great. It's fantastic when you're fishing the beach for the length. So I'm enjoying using it. It's paired up with the Shimano Ultegra 14,000 XSC, and I've got the 60-pound limitless braid straight through, which they kindly give me. That I was over the moon, and some hooks to go with it. So thanks very much to Limitless for thinking about me. I really appreciate it, and I'm enjoying using your gear. Can't pick a fault yet, really. Everything's all tickety-boo. I'm going to mix and match it today. I've got some, let's get a bit closer. Mackerel in black. See how that one goes. It's ready for the next cast. That's been out about 15 minutes now. It's a little bit of a southerly breeze. The sea's about to pick up again. Has been rough. I know a lot of my pals have been struggling with the weed. That's why I try to avoid with the first big sea of the year. I just think, ah. I went out with my mate Darren the other day, and we just weeded off. I knew we would be, but he knows best. So hopefully this is the kicking off the cod season, the first big sea. I like to go out after round about the third big sea, so that weed's backed up on the beach. There's been some big tides to wash it to the very back of the beach, and then we can concentrate on catching some fish. Got some friends coming up all the way through the winter from all corners of the country, to be honest. I think Sparta's fridge is going to be full of everyone's bait over the winter, everyone's but mine. I offer, you know, friends and social media friends as well. Sometimes I've never met them, you know, it's just through the fishing connections. It's a good circle to be in, you know, you meet new people, and if they're coming up here and they need a freezer to put their bait in, well, I can help them out. I can help them out with pointing them in the right direction for B&Bs locally. So if you want, get in touch. If you're coming up to Northumberland, feel free to drop us a message, and I'll help you out as much as I can. Put you on some marks that I know we have caught fish in the past. There's no real secret to cod catching in Northumberland, although people will have their little secret holes, no doubt, and secret gullies, which is fine, but I generally fish the better known ones, you know. Quite happy to share that information with you, so give us a buzz. See if this one's been stripped. There's a couple of seals knocking about, which I'm not best happy about, but it is what it is. And there's definitely note on this. One thing surely I couldn't hit a plug down there. I just took my eye off the game there. That's it, it's up. What was I going to say? Can't remember. Get this new trace on. Aye, one thing I can confirm is that my bait has been stripped, which I thought it would be because I'm using soggy worm. Probably come off in the current, you know. Get this new one on. Of course I left it over there. Twirl that weight, get the line nice and bunched up, hook it on the bottom, and then oh, what a knob. I made that length too big. It's not a disaster like, but schoolboy error. Oh, it just flies out like. Did you see that seal splash away there when it got a fright when my weight landed? Oh, it doesn't make for good viewing when you've got a double shot of seals in your pipeline. Best just loosen that drag off just in case, because I've put a bit of mackerel on there. I don't want that rod going west, east, west, east, east. Right, any little fish will do to start the season off, the winter season, although it is meteorologically autumn. It's winter as far as I'm concerned. Once that summer's gone, that's winter. There's no in-betweens. Although it's not too cold, it's about, I don't know, 10 degrees or something. I've got my top coat there just in case it gets a bit nippy. We'll see. So, questions have been asked. I always forget to answer these questions on the next video. I do answer them individually, of course, but I think it's good to share what people asking. Trainers. So these are Morel Vibram, V-I-B-R-A-M. The Gore-Tex waterproof for so long, like everything, until you scratch them on a rock and damage the surface of them or whatever. But I do spray sort of like what you spray on tents every couple of months or so. My trainers only last me literally one summer. These are the ones I found most comfortable for going across rocks, and I put studs in that I bought from the Lure Factory. Now, the Lure Factory is a company, the owner I know well, a lad called Ian who does fantastic bass lures especially, but he also sells the studs that go in the bottom. I think they're around about 15 quid for a pack which serves both shoes obviously. and you get a little tool to put them in with. So I like a softer trainer. I did have what was that about? I paid well over 100 quid for a pair of like proper climbing rock shoes and all that, but I absolutely broke my feet into pieces. So go for comfort, because with comfort comes stability. If you're uncomfortable and you're jarring your heel, or they're a bit solid, they're not bendy, you can't get your, in my opinion of course, you can't get your sort of footing right on the rocks. So these are really comfortable. They've got a really thick sole, rubber. They're not very grippy when you first get them, but once you get that shiny layer off the bottom, I just sandpaper them and then put the studs in. So that's the trainers I use. They retail at about 70 quid online. I'll see if I can put a link in the bottom of the video. I might be able to. Trousers, somebody asked about them. These are PECTNK. However you say that, I don't know. They're waterproof, they're durable, lacky waist. I've got to have elastic waist at my age. You get to that age, don't you, where you need elastic around your waist. What else was it? Oh, coat. This is a jacket, a wolfskin coat. Now, it's fully waterproof. The most waterproof jacket I've ever had. It's got a fleece which you can take in and out, which is really handy for the summer. So if you get in a summer shower, you're not sweating your nads off. You can take that out, leave it, take it with you, whatever, and you've still got your waterproof jacket. It's a good jacket, that. Really, really good jacket. I wouldn't swap it for any other jacket, in fact, no matter what the cost. What else was there? Somebody's asking. Oh, aye, braid. Right, braid. Here was a subject which was hot and topic. Again, I see a lot of questions online. What is the best braid? It's opinion. Everything's opinion. So, but what I personally use for fishing like this today, on a rock mark where I know my braid can rub against rocks, etc. I use 4-strand braid. I use 60, 70, sometimes 75 pounds straight through. I don't use shock leader. You get the shock leader, please. I know I'm going to say, well, you should have. You got 6 ounces of lead, you should have at least 60-pound shock leader. Well, nah, I've never twanged one off yet. Like I say, I'm not swinging it round the moon before I cast it. It's just an overarm cast. So I use 60-pound braid straight through, minimum 60-pound braid straight through, but it's 4-strand on the rocks. Because it's massively different, hugely different to using 8-strand. The amount of times I've nicked 8-strand when I've been the snag and you're pulling, and everything's gone because it's nicked on a rock. Whereas this, you get a bit more oomph for your money. Now this one I've got on here is limitless, like I say, but I do use Ding Bear as well. D-I-N-G-B-E-A-R, Ding Bear braid, which you can get on Amazon. You get about 1,000 meters for 45 quid. It's never let us down yet. Neither has the limitless one so far. I've just started using it. A bit more weighty, the limitless one. I like the way it wraps. So I think that was about it. And lure fishing, I use 20-pound Manster W8 with a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. So that's what I use. Is it windy? Can you hear that or not? I don't know. I'll have to check the video. It's blowing in my face, like, but I've got the mics on. Aye, so that's the setups I use. Personal preference, like I say. I use 8-strand on the beach. I use spider wire. About 45 pound straight through again. I find that 8-strand obviously chucks a bit further on the beach, so it's a lot smoother, and I don't have to worry about abrasion resistance when I'm fishing clean ground. So there you have it. I've told you all my secrets. Now I'll have to kill you. Time for another bait change. Disappointing so far. Don't think I've had a knock really. Rod move a couple of times, but probably just the weight bouncing around. Or I'm going to try and chuck this one a little bit further. Well, when you see the bait I'm just about to put on, like, I don't know how that's going to be possible, but I want some big, smelly, stinking, chunky bait out there. So I've changed tact with size of bait. Let me show you this. Whoa. It's got blacks, mackerel and ragworm, and I've wrapped it up into a nice sausage. I'm probably not even going to be able to chuck this, it's that bloody heavy. But we'll give it a whirl. Getting a bit blustery. I wouldn't say it's cold yet, but I've put the coat on. It's chilly. That breeze is picking up ever so slightly. I've got a Gemini splashdown on this one, which I don't mind using on the rocks, but I won't use them on the beach. They jam too much. They're terrible on the beach, to be honest. They're not fit for purpose on the beach. Right, let's just wipe my hand. That bait is lifting. Just going to walk down here a little bit. A bit more back lift. Really important to get your footing set when you're on the rocks before you get excited. Well, it's not very far out, but like I was saying earlier, there's no need to go far out here. I've caught fish pretty much 20 yards out here. I'll wind that slack in and then leave it. Right, there we go, we're settled. Round 4. Fourth cast, been here about an hour and a half. An hour and a half? Aye, about that. What time is it? That's 1 o'clock. So the tide's turned. The tide was lowered around about 11:30, 12. So the tide is starting to push now. Will that make a difference? Time will tell. Well, another half hour has passed. The sea's definitely picking up. But there's nothing picking my bait up, that's the biggest problem. Such a shame, I had high hopes. I don't normally have any great expectations when I come fishing. I just try and enjoy it for what it is. But I had a sneaky little feeling in me bones last night that I was going to catch a nice cod. Well, that hasn't happened so far. I think there's crabs and lobsters getting me bait. By the look of the way that one's come back anyway. Shredded and knackered. So I'll show you the new bait that's going out. Change of tact. This tiniest slither of mackerel, just to keep things together. whites and blacks, about 5 or 6, maybe 7. We'll see how that does, eh? Right, well, I've moved a little bit higher up. Swell was starting to pick up a little bit, and safety first and all that. I was never in any danger, but I just thought I'd make the move now before I'm forced off. Did have a little bite before, but wasn't a cod, that's for sure. And if it was tiny. I was just having a little chuckle to myself there. When I find it really amusing when, how can I put it? I've got a mate anyway who put a video on YouTube, and he was fishing somewhere else, I'll not say where, but he was fishing miles from home, and he had a great time. He makes great videos. He's one of the nicest fellas you can ever meet, and he's getting stick off a couple of the locals who live up there, showing people that mark and it'll get covered in litter and this, that and the other. I was like, eh? So hang on, somebody puts a video on YouTube fishing, so they're the ones to blame if there's litter gets dropped at that mark. Is that right? I'd never heard anything so thick in my life. So does that mean if, I don't know, you're out shopping and you put a picture of yourself, I like this t-shirt, does that mean you're responsible for shoplifters? Or if you share a video on social media of, I don't know, a car getting a chase off the police, does that mean you're then responsible for people going out and nicking a car and getting a chase of the police? There's absolutely no logic to that whatsoever. And remember, they're not your marks. You might live in that area, you don't own that land. People can fish where they want, they can put videos of where they want. It's up to the person, the individual fishing, if he wants to show or she wants to show where she's fishing. It's just ridiculous. Do you get onto Robson Green? You know, when he's salmon fishing with Whitehouse? Sorry, Bob Mortimer. Do you get onto Bob Mortimer and Whitehouse when they're fishing, catching salmon on a river? And you shouldn't be putting that on the telly because people will drop crisp packets there. Absolutely madness. Honestly, what goes through some people's heads, I'll never know. And the other one, wow, she was stick on the subject of bees in the bonnet. This is a class one, this. And the fish carers, oh dear. Normally, on the whole, freshwater fishermen, giving it the old you didn't handle that right, you didn't handle it right. You should have a mat away, man, a mat. So let's get this right. Your concern is a mat, right? Listen to this. So you're happy for us for a fisherman to throw out a bait, right? Fool a fish into thinking that it's just getting a bit of food. Lancing a hook through its cheek or its face or its eye or its head or its guts. Putting a hook through, riving it up with a 14-foot stick, whoosh, nearly pulling its head out its backside, bouncing it over a load of rocks, through kelp. All the time its swim bladder's getting bigger and bigger because it's come from the depths. Its eyes are nearly popping out of its head. And you're pulling it, you're winding it in and winding, wrestling with it. It's trying to save its life, shaking its head backwards and forwards. You're pulling it in. It's a game of tug of war. You've got a 14-foot stick. It's got its face, right? Oh, God, this gets better. Get it to the surface where it basically thinks, oh, I'm dead. Tries for one more run with its head again against a hook through its face. It's lifted up, or net it up, whatever you want to do. It's put in front of you. You've got to compress so it stops wiggling. Drive a hook out of its face. Unhook it, hold it for a photo, and either chuck it back or keep it for your tea. But no, you didn't put it on a mat. That's a myth. So yeah, imagine a fish. Oh, that's better. I feel much better now I'm on this mat. Way, man. Gear, heat a wobble. A mat. I feel champion now I'm on this mat. Thank God he brought it. All's forgiven. Hey. When I'm on the subject of putting fish back, I had somebody on mine, actually this is on mine, saying it's ridiculous the way you threw that fish back. It's a pollock, by the way, just for context. Lure fishing for pollock. Now, I've put hundreds, if not, well, probably thousands of pollock. I've released thousands of pollock. And when you first start out, I mean, with bass, you've got to give them a bit of comfort to get them back. Holding that tail, get a bit of oxygen through the gills, wait till the kick, keep a hold of it a little bit more, wait till it's fully ready. It's sat up right nice, it'll kick, bang, it's gone. Pollock, you do that to pollock and they just turn on their side and float. Turn on their side, float. Turn on their side, float. Rinse and repeat. The best way to get a pollock back without a shadow of a doubt is torpedoing it in head first. Hold of its tail, cup underneath its belly and plummet it in. Head first, bang, they never come back to the top unless they've been damaged in the process of bringing it in, whether that be, you know, gut hooked or whatever, which is very rare with lures. But pollock, anyone wondering why you throw a pollock in the way you do, it's to get them away. It's the best way to get them away. It gives them a gush of oxygen over their gills and bang, they're gone. You never see them again, ever. But going to the water's edge and fannying about with a pollock, cupping its belly, trying to get the kick, it might work sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. But every time you put a pollock back, head first, torpedo it, it's gone, never to be seen again. So that's why you release pollock like that. God, I've had a right rant today. It's because I haven't caught any fish, that's why. Starting to get knocked. Deep breath. Oh. Right. I'll cast a little bit further left this time. Get me footing. Champion. Good as out. Good as out. Oh. Tell you what, I'll get this rod a bit further back. Yes, I get a big one. I wish. I didn't want to lose this rod. I think the retail at around about 350 quid. But the website, the link will be below for the website on the video, not below, in the description, whatever. And if you want to, I haven't got any membership options now. What I've done is I thought was better, which is a great idea. If you do want to support the channel, whether that be money towards bait, travel, equipment or whatever, you can buy me a coffee. There's a QR code on the screen now. If you're watching on the telly, you can just put your camera on and just zoom in and click the link. Or you can click on the link in the description. It's called Buy Me a Coffee, which is great. People often ask how they can support the channel. Like I said, it's not a must, just if you want to. And you'll get a shout out on the next video. You can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm not sure. But hi, Buy us a coffee, there you go. It'll probably go towards coffee and a bacon sandwich actually. I appreciate that. Thanks to the people that have done it already without even advertising. They must have just had a look through my page, and I've had a few people buy us a coffee. Nice one, thanks very much. Some people are anonymous, some people put their names, but I appreciate either. Well, this may be the first video I've ever put on YouTube where I've blanked. Now, I've done this deliberately because the amount of people, and I'm talking a serious amount of people, that have said to me, well, it's no good just putting on the times you catch fish. People need to see the reality of it. Well, I get it, I do, I take your point. Hence why I'm going to post this video whether I catch or not. I don't know, it's hard enough blanking yourself without watching somebody else do it. But, you know, I've listened to people, I've listened to what they've said, and they've said, look, well, we just want to see your adventures, because people who can't get out fishing still want to watch, whether you catch fish or not. Especially my mate Darren from North East Angling, I'll give him a shout out. He's like, Steve, you just put them on. You know, you've spent all that time getting the footage and some nice scenery, and you're getting out fishing. People just want to see you out fishing. And I was like, I hummed and hawed. This has been going on for months, by the way. I said, I know, but I've sort of like pot committed now. I've said, like, I'll not post a blank. And he was like, so what? People change their mind like every day in life. He said, just do it. So I thought, right, today, if I come out, I thought I'd actually catch a fish today, like, but I thought, right, if I come out and I blank, I've been fishing in a nice spot, a nice area, I'm just going to post it. So I'm going to post this video because I've been bullied into it. No, I've been asked by a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. People comment, say, "Do you only catch fish when you go out?" I'm like, no, definitely not. You might see one video every 5 fishing sessions, because I blank more than I catch. Sometimes, anyway. So I give in. I give in to the pressure, the peer pressure. I'll post a blank. Mind you, I'll see how it goes. I'll see what the views are like. And I need you to comment on this one. I need you to tell us underneath, like, be honest. I can take criticism, that's no problem. I'll not take shit, but I'll take criticism. You know. Let us know. I need to know this, so you need to comment underneath. I'm not bothered about subscribers, no. If you want to subscribe, that's fine. You know, I'm not here to whore for subscribers or beg for subscribers. You know, there's nothing in it for us. I just like doing videos. I learned how to use a computer about 2 years ago, and editing and stuff like that. I'm still pretty poor at it, but I can get it out there on YouTube, so hey ho. You live and learn. So I just enjoy doing a bit of filming, and it takes the boredom away when you're not getting any bites. I can just yap onto you lot, just burn your lugs for a few hours. And there lies the problem, like Darren was saying. So you've done all that, you've spoke about your gear, you've spoke about your, you know, how you're fishing, where you're fishing, what you're targeting, and then it just gets deleted. I'm like, aye. He's like, put it on, man. So right, I will, fine, I give in, I'll put it on. If you find it boring, tell us, look, Steve, that was absolutely gash, you didn't show any fish, you caught out, there's nothing entertaining about it, didn't do that again. I'll say, right, no bother, mate. But if the general consensus is, yeah, of course, I want to see them, I want to see all the videos, right, fine. I'm not putting all the blanks on. It'll be like 10 in a row. So let us know. Have I bored you enough yet? Oh, I've bored myself. I'd put a glass eye to sleep, wouldn't I? Right, so that's that speech over and done with. I'm getting a bite. I've said all that, watch us pull a fish in. I still want your opinion on it though, regardless of whether I catch or not. Let us know. Cheers. Right, well that's the end of that. I did blank, yay. Thanks very much, I appreciate you sticking through it. Like I say, the comments in this video are absolutely vital for me personally. I need to know what you think, whether you want me to carry on continuing to post just my fishing adventures, whether I catch or not. Let me know. My rule of thumb was, if I don't catch, you don't see it. But it was only for your entertainment I was doing it that way, you know, it was with you in mind. So let me know, please do let me know. I've got some great stuff coming up. I'm going back down to Cornwall. I have just come back from the Cornish Lure Festival. I didn't do any filming because I was on the bass hunt. I did register a fish. I did catch some fish in the run up to the competition, but I wasn't doing any filming. I've met some great people down there, kindly took me to the areas they fish. I'm not going to stick it on a video and say, oh look, come fish here. And also it's really difficult filming when you're fishing for bass. You're constantly on the move all the time, clambering across rocks, up and down boulders. I could have put you on chest cam, but I really just wanted to have a bit of time away just fishing. I've got, like I say, Corn will come back up again. I'll be back down there with Gary and Daz, so the Three Musketeers will be back together I'll do a video for you there. And also I've got something coming up with a YouTuber. I'll not mention any names. I am meeting that person tomorrow. Let's see what comes of that. It might be a bit of a fish off, it might be a bit of a YouTube special where it's well, you'll just have to wait and see. I'm not going to give too much away, but I appreciate you tuning in, sticking with us throughout this bloody blank. They happen more often than not. That's the reality. What you wanted to see, you the viewer have asked for this, so there you go. Let me know what you think. What's the consensus? Do I keep doing this, or do I just show you the better sessions? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks very much, take care.